Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. It's just a beautiful, warm spring day. Actually feeling a little more like summer, but we are gonna finally go put Andy's 50 million blueberry plants in the ground. That right?
That's
dear.
right.
Also, hang on real quick. There's y'all a quick update on my beautiful spinach and lettuce, and the kale decided it was gonna live, so it looks mighty fine. Anyways.
Those things is coming out. The onions are starting to grow. The kale's coming out. That kale was surprising, but
I really thought it was fried.
I did too, but you could see way down in there, you could see just a little green bud. It made it.
Also on the way down, as we get down there, y'all look at this.
Can y'all see those?
Peaches, peaches.
This tree is full of them.
Yep. So see there? So apparently,
Look right here. That's a big one.
not all of them.
Can you see that right there? Look at that.
Yep. So apparently the cold did not hurt them.
Thank goodness. Now, as long as we don't need another cold spell that comes through and hurts them. It is possible.
They have survived 3 or 4 nights in the 20s.
Yeah, and then
high 20s, but still.
Then just the other day, what was it, I don't know, it's been a few days ago, we had a pretty good frost, and it was what, 26? 29.
29.
So, yeah, I don't know how they survived, but they did. All I know is if they actually it must have been meant for us to get some peaches.
That's right. And the beautiful apple trees. I love apple blooms.
I think they're so pretty. That one right there is the best apple tree we got.
Look how pretty those are. And it's full.
So, I guess real quick, I'll kind of explain what we're fixing to do here. And then we got to get to work. We got roughly, I don't know, 15, 16 holes to dig and plant blueberries and then mulch around them all. Okay, Megan had to step away on a phone call right quick, but I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do. We're going to put in blueberries in between each fruit tree. So let me try to show y'all how this goes. Right now, these fruit trees are in a line going that way, and then they turn and go right down the edge of the fence. My goal, it's not going to happen today, but my goal is eventually to have one long continuous mulch bed all the way down to where they stop. Then this row will be a continuous mulch bed. Same for this one, and so on and so forth. Now there is a swag right in the middle of this orchard that we can't put anything because the water runs through. We've got 2 culverts right there that come out, one there and one there, and water runs right down the middle of this little valley here, and so there can't be anything here. Can't be anything planted here. We can't mulch across it or anything because it would just wash it right out. If we get hard rains, this looks like a river flowing through here. But we will have it continuous mulch bed to like here, and then from the pretty apple tree be a continuous mulch bed to there, and then these over here will kind of be on their own, standalone. I do want to make a continuous mulch bed there, and maybe make this one right here more like an oval shape, and it'll be just a little bitty short mulch bed. But the plan is, in between each fruit tree, everywhere that we can plant one, we're going to plant a blueberry bush. And I imagine this place, once it gets big, the fruit trees are tall, the blueberry plants are tall, everything is big. It's just going to be like walking through hedgerows of food, and that's kind of my goal. I want to show you another thing that I intend on doing with this spot. Where we have kept mulched, we've kept everything mulched. I did plant some cauliflowers in here, but they were just planted the other day. They hadn't even had time to take root. But when you dig down in here, where all of this has been continuously mulched all the time, look, right there's an earthworm, and all I did was uncover it. That soil is amazing. And there was another earthworm. Where'd he go? I don't know, but he was in there somewhere. So, what I'm thinking is all the dead space that's in the mulch beds, we'll grow things like this right here. We'll just stick in random plants. Once all this gets big enough that it shades it out so much that you can't grow nothing underneath, well then that's fine. But until then, if we can continue to keep everything mulched and make soil that looks like that, it's a great place to be growing something. And it's just right here in our backyard. So, now today I'm not worried about mulching the whole entire bed. That'll happen at some point in the future. In all honesty, it may not happen this spring. It may be later in the season. It may be this fall. I don't know when it'll be, but we will put mulch around the blueberries just to protect them from the mower for right now. But anyways, yeah, I hope y'all get the gist of that. Hope you kind of understand what I'm going for. And this will be paired with Berry Hill over here. And in this little section, a valley, or whatever you want to call it, a hollow, or whatever you want to call it, there will be, the intention will be that there will be so much food in this spot, we can't eat it all. And that's what I want. I like having an excess of everything. That way, if something goes wrong, you've still got more to rely on. But not only that, you got food to share. I love sharing stuff like this with people and neighbors or whoever. And yeah, I like to have excess of stuff, and that hopefully one of these days will give us an abundance of food in this little bitty spot. And the great thing about it all is it's all perennial. It doesn't have to be replanted every year. Once this is done, it's done. And at that point, it's just maintenance mode on everything. So, yeah, let's get it started. These are one of my blueberries from Tractor Supply. I think I bought 7 from Tractor Supply, and I actually have one right over there that I don't think is going to make it. But the rest look pretty good. Then the little 1-gallon pots are the ones I got up at the local greenhouse. And they're actually better looking blueberries. Right here's one of them. Well, there's one. Blow it over. These are actually better looking blueberries, but they're in smaller pots. Alright, right there is roughly center between those two. There's a thick, thick layer of sod right there. Now we're going to save this sod. I'm going to use that in a minute. Y'all look at how dry. There's a grub worm. Chickens would like that. We need some rain, something awful. Ground's hard as a rock. I can't believe how hard that ground is. We need rain bad. And from the looks of it, we don't have much of a chance of rain. No time soon. Well, we've got one chance, but it don't look like a whole lot of rain. This would have actually been an easier job to wait it until it did rain. But if I wait any longer, it's going to be too late to plant them. Now I said we was going to use this sod. Right there's what we're going to use it for. We're going to turn the sod upside down right around the base of that plant. And that'll kind of act like a catch basin for water when we go to water them. And of course, like I said too, I am going to put a mulch ring around these two, and I'll shape that mulch ring kind of like a funnel. But we ain't mulching nothing until we get everything planted. 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there's 4 steps. I got that about right. How many off of this tree? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these both, I've got them both in the right spot. I hope all the, oh yeah, that dirt there's a lot softer. I was going to say, I hope all the rest of them ain't as hard to dig. I'll be down here forever. Now that sod I'm not going to save, because that's got some Bermuda grass in it. Man, that digs a lot better. I had somebody ask the other day, man, these blueberries from Tractor Supply are not rooted in at all. They were took straight from a 1 gallon and potted up into a, what is that, it's either a 2 gallon or a 3 gallon, and then sold as 3 gallon plants, even though they weren't rooted in. Anyways, I had somebody ask the other day, was our garden, our orchard out here pure red clay, or did we do something to the soil before we planted it, or you know what the deal was if we planted straight into the red clay. Of course, I guess you can see that right there is not red clay, but you're going to see red clay before we get done, because right down the hill right there ain't nothing but red clay. And so what I have done with this, what I've done with this spot right here is I planted straight into some of the nastiest red clay you've ever seen, and went ahead and got that tree planted, but have since then been working on the soil around the tree. And it seems to work, because everything out here is doing really well. Plenty of rocks out here too. Hang on. Well, looks like I found another hard spot. I'll tell you something else you're supposed to. This was pounded in our heads when we were in school. You're supposed to dig the hole at least twice as big as the size plant you're planting. But in reality, sometimes that's hard to do because the ground is so hard you can't work with it. And I'll tell you, I've put in many plants and have to scram them down in that hole because they wouldn't fit. And to this day, they are still doing just fine, surviving, thriving. They look good. So I would not stress over that much at all. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Those roots, I don't care how hard the ground is, will find their way out into the soil around it. At least in my experience. I haven't found ground hard enough yet. Look at that. Still got an earthworm in it. Ain't that amazing? That is a hard chunk of clay. And look right there. The little earthworm found his way through it somehow. That's pretty cool. I have no idea how an earthworm can tunnel through that. But it's just like those roots. Somehow or another, those roots still find their way. And one thing I do want to note, I will water these in before I mulch them. Because I want to make sure that mulch actually washes and settles that dirt down around the roots. And I can't see that happen when I've got mulch covering everything. Look at that just fall apart. It's truly a 1 gallon pot. It's crazy. The main thing you'd want to check is make sure ain't nothing root bound when you go to plant it. If it's root bound, you better tear those roots apart. But all of these so far have been really good. Right there's the bane of my existence, y'all. Bermuda grass, I hate that stuff. And we got a plenty of it here. Right there's the one I don't think's gonna make it. It got just a little bit of new growth on it, but when I bought it, it had leaves all over it. It looked pretty good, but they died off. And that green sprout there and one right there are the only ones that's still living. So I'm just gonna leave it in the pot for now and just see if it survives. So there's already a blueberry here. So that blueberry and this blueberry are gonna be a little bit closer here because their growth habits are the same and I don't have to worry about the big trees shading them out. That apple tree will be spread out to probably like right in here one day, but still be plenty of room for that blueberry to grow. I will say, in my experience, I don't know if it's where it gets so hot here during the summer or what, but I have found that blueberries tend to tolerate a little bit of shade better than they tolerate the full sun. Like I said, that's just my experience. That may be different in different parts of the world, but here, I think dappled sunlight, like maybe late in the evening or whatever, works perfect for blueberries. And by the time this orchard is mature, that should be what we have here. Hey, one other thing I'd like to show y'all is we planted our garlic down in here this year. Look at that. That's some of the prettiest garlic we've ever grew. And we have some over there. We have another bed over there. And another bed right up yonder. And it's beautiful. But it's growing in that soil like I showed y'all. And you dig down in here and just look at that. It's perfect. She's back.
I think so, so back up. I was hoping the work was about done.
Oh, everybody wants to say you do all the work. See, when it gets hot outside.
I was working.
When it gets hot outside, you skip away and go do inside work. You see how it is. You had a business card. Only got 3 more for sure I got to plant, and then I got 2 extras that I need to find something to do with. So when we originally bought these blueberries, or when I made the
Well,
decision.
I don't think it was no we.
Yeah, when I made the decision to originally buy these blueberries, y'all excuse the farmer's tan. I'm trying to do away with it. Anyways, I was going to plant them down by the new barn on that steep bank we got off the back side of it. And it looked like a great place to grow them. But I've really paid attention since I've been working on that barn and down there a lot doing the side and stuff. I've paid attention to how the sun tracks across the sky. And that bank only gets like an hour or two of sunlight a day. And I just don't think it would work down there.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind. That's originally where they were going to go. However, the plan of having what we're doing right now has kind of been a plan all along.
Yeah, we've talked about it the last, couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
Doing that.
So that's what we decided to do with these extra blueberries. And this is going to be just like a massive grove of food when everything gets to the point it's producing.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
We like growing food that you ain't got to work too hard for.
That's right. It's work right now.
Do a little work, once or twice a year?
Once or twice a year you'll have to prune, and we'll have to keep up with the mulch. But by the time we are like in our 50s, this thing should be like on overdrive, and it should be in self-maintenance mode other than a little bit of pruning or something like that. Mm-hmm. And man, we should be able to walk down through here and just pick all the stuff we want.
Yep. Yeah, and if we don't, hopefully Jacob and Maggie can.
That's right. If we don't, somebody else will.
Yep.
That's the way I like to look at a lot of this stuff. If I don't get the benefit from it, somebody will.
Somebody will. That's right.
It don't matter if it's us. Somebody will get it. The worst part about this whole spot is this darn Bermuda grass.
I know.
I wish it wasn't here.
Right in your way.
I want you to look. That hole up yonder was sandy too. You tell me where that sand come from.
Why is it like? Is it from runoff? I bet. From all the years, remember it used to run off right there.
It used to run off right there, didn't it? Mm-hmm. I guarantee that's where it come from.
Yeah, till you fixed it. It used to all run. Remember we'd have a pond right there where that trailer's parked.
I do remember that now. I had forgot about that.
Yep. I'd say it's run off from the gravel.
Well, all that runoff ought to make a good place to grow something.
We'll see.
So these Tractor Supply ones, when you dump that thing out, watch it. Because it's going to fall everywhere, so hold it over the hole.
Okay.
Because apparently they took 1 gallon size plants and put them in the bigger pot, and then they didn't give them time to root in. You ain't got to take the tag off.
Oh, okay.
Leave it on it and I'll know what it is. See there? Everything just falls apart.
I see that.
I'm going to move on to the next one.
Okay. I might can handle this.
You think?
Maybe.
Hey, and I forgot to tell you, whatever you do, don't put that Bermuda grass back around it. Just throw that stuff away.
What about this?
Look yonder.
Well, that's a nice one.
Hopefully I can keep it out from around all that.
Okay. But it's all got it in it.
Well, do the best you can.
See?
Yeah.
So am I coming down there with this one?
No, just leave that one up there. That's one of the spares. Some of these holes is like trying to dig in a rock. Like that one right there. That's awful.
I bet so.
What? I mean, I can't dig it. Need dynamite for that hole.
Well, there's your red dirt.
Yeah, this one and that hole over there and that one over there.
They're like bright red.
Yeah, that was rough. What?
Can I have a bucket, one of the buckets up there to big lot?
Yeah, why?
Do they have holes in them?
Huh?
Do they have holes in them?
I don't know. Why?
I needed a new bucket for down there at the creek. This one's kind of broken.
Oh, yeah, you can have one of those for that. What are you doing? Filling up your tadpole holes?
That's what I've been doing, and then this, the handle come off it, and it's set.
Okay. Yeah, take one of them buckets up there. That's fine.
Hey, just the yellow one's busted in the bottom.
Alright.
Did you hear that?
And also, there's a minnow down there at the creek that's this big.
Really? That might be a knotty head if it's that big.
Where's it at?
Down at the creek?
In the
Where
deep?
you drive through?
Really?
How about that?
And then there's like, of course, smaller ones in there like that. And
Right.
Like that, and like that.
Yeah, it may be a.
And down there, and then this bucket probably broke because I was down there trying to catch them.
I
Yeah.
thought you was down there trying to get some boards for your project you was working on.
No.
You down there saving tadpoles.
Yep. And I'm trying to catch the fishes.
Oh, okay.
I need to turn around right here.
Them young'uns, they worry about them tadpoles, don't they?
Every year. They had to keep it filled up.
It was last spring.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure we got into a drought before we ever got into that rainy spell last year. So like once it started raining, it never quit.
I'd be surprised if it was like that this year, though. That's pretty unusual.
It ain't looking too good either. I know we done had a couple of the mud holes dry up with the tadpoles on. Golly!
There's about 5 rocks in that little hole.
Ain't that something?
Well, if we can't grow nothing else, we can grow a rock.
We can grow a rock, that's right. All right, that one right there will be the last one that's definitely gonna get planted. All right. Well, I guess that's all that's gonna get planted of them today.
Well, I almost showed up when the work was done.
Yeah, now you gotta mulch. Unless you planning on leaving me again.
I don't have to leave you here in a few minutes.
I know.
I gotta go get the boss lady.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't know that I ain't gonna wait for it to cool off a little bit before I mulch them anyways.
Do it this evening or
It's
something.
got plumb hot out here.
Yes. This is a summery feeling day.
It is. And here it is, just the first week of April.
The wind quit moving. Made
Yeah.
it hot because the air was moving.
Yeah, there ain't no air circulating. Yeah, I will go ahead and water these in right now though, so they ain't sitting out here in this hot sun. I want to show y'all one more thing that I've learned about growing blueberries that I think has been my problem all along. If you can't figure it out, I have gotten very interested in growing blueberries. Like very. I don't know why. I read about them all the time. I study them. I like eating blueberries, so
Maybe that's what it is.
maybe that's what it is. But using stuff like that right there has been a total game changer on growing blueberries.
I know what it was.
What?
The blueberry yum yum. That's what did it.
I'd grow all the blueberries in the world if that was my result, was a blueberry yum yum.
I ain't got many left from last year.
Well, see, we go through them, but our plants ain't mature yet either.
Yeah.
Once they mature, golly, we're gonna have so many blueberries.
Well, you know what? That'll be plenty to share.
That's
'Cause
exactly right.
I love to share with people.
But making sure the pH around your blueberry is down in the 4.5 to 5.5 range is key. Like, it is key. Our soils here are typically in the 6 to 6.5 range. So I have to acidify them. Typically with everything else we grow, we have to add lime, which raises the pH. Blueberries are exact opposite. You have to put something around them to lower that pH. And that and fertilizer. I did not realize blueberries were as hungry of a shrub as they are. But they need good fertilizer, either some really good fertile soil, and the pH needs to be right. And since we started getting those two things, I feel like blueberries have become one of those crops I can put up on my list as a little bit easier to grow now.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a while for me to learn that.
Years. It took us years. We had killed so many blueberry plants.
Yeah, they never would do nothing. The leaves would turn yellow on them, then they'd struggle, and then they'd die.
Yeah, years. We planted them in all kind of different places around here.
Yep.
And finally, we planted them down there at the pig lot for whatever reason. Decided to plant them down there, and they started doing the best they've ever done. And I assume it's because the soil is so acidic from that runoff from the pig lot.
It's probably, you're probably right.
Well, we thought we'd sit down in the shade for a minute.
Yeah, it's hot. I hate to say that, and here it is only April.
It's about the hottest day we've had, I would say. Feels like
This
it.
year so far?
Yeah.
It does feel like it, yeah. So, I figured while we was taking a break, it'd be a good time to mention. Everybody's been asking about the bulldozer, the land. When are we going to go back to work on it? How's it coming? Has anything changed?
No.
No, nothing's changed. Nothing at all has changed. The bulldozer is ready to put back together. The water pump's finished. Daddy actually rebuilt the water pump down there after work one night. And it's ready to put back on. We just ain't done it. And the land, yeah, I haven't done any, well, we've not done anything except ride through there.
Yeah, what you saw whenever that video was of him doing work on the excavator, that was the last thing that we've been able to do over there. Number one, we're still waiting on a survey. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, you know, we're still patiently waiting.
Maybe that'll happen eventually.
For a survey to know exactly where to clear. So that's been a big hold up.
So he's actually done come and marked the corners.
Yeah.
The corners are marked. It's just he was going to take his little GPS thing he's got and walk the property line and put up stakes so that we'd know exactly down through there where the line was. And he hasn't come back.
Because that field that's in that new place, we don't think all of that field is on it.
Mm-mm.
So we don't know. You can't tell exactly where the line is, and so we just want to get that established before we go too far. And y'all, I mean, in all honesty, that land has sat like that for as long as I've been around here.
Yeah, we did the important part. We got access to it.
Yeah, we did what we were worried about, and that was being able to get all the way through it from one end to the other, and we can. And other than that, the rest of it's just kind of like low down on the priority list. It's not ready for cows. That's a far-fetched future dream of ours to be able to have that ready for cows. But
I'd like to build a fence on it, you know, like before I put a cow on it, I want to build a good fence around it all. And I don't have power up there, so the only way to power it is solar. Mm-hmm. And solar fence chargers just don't do good when you're powering a whole perimeter fence with one. And so I don't know what we'll do as far as that goes. When
we purchased that land, we were not gung-ho to, you know, get it ready to do something. It just happened to fall in our lap, to say it the best way I know how to say it. It just happened to fall that way, and we were very blessed to be able to get it. And, you know, eventually we'll get it the way we want it.
You know, and it was priority, and it still is, but it wasn't as much priority as finishing that barn. Like that barn down there,
we got to have somewhere to put our spring hay cutting.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be here before long.
That barn was, man, that one's, I'm tickled to death that I've gotten as far as I have, but I'm ready to be done with it. And we've been so busy gardening that lately I haven't been able to get back on that either.
And the barn had to come first because, like I just said, we need somewhere to put our spring hay, and, you know, that's the place. So the lumber's got to be out of the way, and the sides has got to be on it. And I mean, that land's not hurting anything over there right now.
No, it ain't eating nothing.
And the bulldozer's been broke down for 10 years. So
and it's closer right now to being fixed than it ever has been.
Yeah.
So you know, honestly, the bulldozer threw us for a loop because I was expecting to just fix the radiator.
Yeah.
And be done with it and be able to go to work. However, I should have known better. And y'all know we ended up having to fix the water pump on it as well. And so that kind of threw us for a loop.
Well, that bulldozer's kind of being like, well, we got it fixed. No, we don't. Well, we got it fixed. No, we don't. You know.
There he goes. Backstory on it all. I mean, when we first started out, we had plenty of time to work on it. And then we got into hog killing time. Mm-hmm. And I intended on having it fixed before hog killing time. But that's when we realized the water pump was bad. Right. So everything kind of like got put on halt during hog killing time. But then once hog killing time was over with, that's when we thought we had all the parts for the water pump. And I realized at that point when we went back to work on the water pump, we didn't. Mm-hmm. So then we had to order more parts. And so I had to wait on
for whatever reason, all the parts for a water pump rebuild does not come in a water pump rebuild kit.
Nope. And so I had to wait on Cat to get those, which it didn't take them long. And then it's just been one thing after the other, and here we are at springtime now, and it's still not back together. However,
it ain't nothing to be upset over or
No.
stressed out about. It's just, you know, that's one way I think some people see all that we do and say, how do you do it all? You got too much to do? Well, you just make you a priority list and don't let things get to you, things that they ain't gonna hurt nothing sitting over there, you know.
that ain't gonna hurt nothing. I do want to get it going. I mean, it's up there on my want to list, but it's not on my need to list.
Right.
And so anyways, yeah, and then that barn down here. The barn took like, it finally got finished, what was it, around end of December or so? And then I went straight to work on it, just piddling a little bit at a time. And then we had to cut the lumber for the sides, and then it's just, all of that stuff has just took time. But now I'm at a point on the barn that I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. Once that barn's done, it's done.
Yep.
I don't have to fool with it no more. And I know it looks like a lot of people, we've actually gotten a comment lately, more than once, that we've bit off more than we can chew and we've got too much going on. And
I just call it life.
I don't feel that way at all. Because number one, it's all stuff we like to do, but number two, everything we're doing that y'all see is like a one-time thing. Once it's done, it's done. I mean, that's been priority. That barn has got to be done before hay season gets here. And I mean, hay season's still a good month and a half away, if not longer. But
you still got quite a bit.
I still got a lot to do.
Yeah, to go down there.
And that's creeping up on us quick. So I hope to have it, now that we've got our potatoes planted, we'll get these blueberries planted. We've got all of the garden stuff planted that's going to be planted for the next couple of weeks. I should be able to really hammer down on it. And it looks like we've got really nice weather for the next 2 weeks.
The full-blown garden takeoff will be in a couple more weeks. And even then, after it's planted, the real work don't start till
harvest.
Well, till the weeds really start coming in and stuff start getting bigger. So you got kind of a honeymoon period there after you plant it that you just kind of get to watch it grow.
Yeah, you get to look at it, water it, talk about how pretty it is, and then the weeds start to grow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've still got, as far as full-blown garden time goes, we still got a little while for that. Yeah. I guess we got field corn planted eventually. And
it's going to be here before we know it, but we do, in reality, still have about a good 2 weeks. Field corn, I'm probably not going to plant till the end of April, 1st of May. So we're about 3 weeks away from that. And so all that'll depend on the weather, too. And that's one good thing about that barn is I can work on it when it's wet. Yep. It doesn't matter. Of course, I would love to say it was wet. Well, we've just not had that luxury lately. But, yeah, so that's where all that stands. It's still in motion. It's just nothing changed about it lately. And I don't know how soon it's actually something going to change about it.
No, maybe we can take y'all up there one day and give you a walk around. We ain't showed it in a while, and if you don't know, it's about a mile from here.
Yeah, 3/4 of a mile maybe.
So, I mean, it's not far from the house, but it's also not right here at the house. So, I mean, it takes some effort to get equipment
there
to it, but like Andy said, we've got a road now cleared plumb from the hard road all the way down through to the other end of it. So that was a big accomplishment, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
A big accomplishment.
That was the main goal when we first bought it, was to open it up so we could get through it. Because the road that was through there was completely blocked from one end to the other with trees, and we got that open.
Yep.
But, you mentioned it being away from the house. It's one of those things that it's out of sight, out of mind kind of deal. We can't see it. We do see it if we ride up the road, or even if we go up to where the potato patch and stuff is, but it's not here at the house.
Somebody may, and I think people don't understand. And that's one thing we like to put to light here on the channel. But I have seen a comment or two, and people may say, well, you shouldn't have never bought it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. They ain't making no more land. And some land come up for sale that we were able to put our hands on, even though we can't do something with it at this very moment.
It's going to be there.
It's going to be there, and it's going to be ours. So.
And the good thing is, even if we don't do nothing with it, the kids can do something with it if they want to.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, that's one thing. The one thing here on this world they ain't making no more of is land.
That's right.
And what land does come up for sale anymore, somebody grabs it and puts a bunch of houses on it. So.
That's right, too. So, if nothing else, we saved it from that happening.
Yep.
But, yeah, you know, it's just all a work in progress.
And this, I mean, farm life is all a constant work in progress. I mean, it just is.
I feel like nothing is ever finished.
If you talk to people or you watch somebody and they make you think that living this life is easy and it's simple, the simple life, I love it and I enjoy the work. It's not really work because I enjoy it, but it ain't easy.
No.
And the work's never done.
The work's never done. I
No.
think that's the thing, is the work's never done. But now here's the thing. Right now, at the moment, you know, y'all see what we're doing on camera, but you don't see
The background, what's going on.
everything else that
Yeah.
goes on behind the scenes. And I mean, a lot of people say y'all work too much. You work too much. Well, you only see 3 days of our life. And yeah, we're working on the other, how many days is it? 4 days a week? We're working on the other 4 days a week, but y'all, I mean, right now, I feel like we've got this planned out just right to where we've got just enough time, like we stay busy enough that we're constantly doing something, but yet, at the end of the day, we have time to sit down and enjoy it.
And if you stay busy, it keeps you out of trouble.
That's exactly right. Man,
Keeps you from doing something you ought not to.
somebody sitting around not doing nothing will think about something they ought to not be thinking about and get into trouble.
Yep, that's right. Good to have something to do.
That's right.
That's what's wrong with the world today. People ain't got enough to do.
And you're right about
Yeah,
that.
they ain't got enough to do.
They stay on social media posting their opinion about everything, and they ought to be doing something about it
Yep.
instead of posting about it.
Amen.
But anyways, you know, the whole goal here with what we've got going on is just like this. I mean, you know, we're doing the work now, and hopefully when we're older, we don't have to. Like,
right.
the infrastructure and everything will be here, and all we have to do when we get older is maintain it.
Yeah, instead of building,
Instead of building it.
we're maintaining. That's
So
right.
That's our main goal, is we're building something right now, and hopefully when we get older, we're just maintaining it.
Yep, that's right.
And at that point, when we get older, if there's some part of it, it just becomes too much for us, we just let it go.
Yeah.
It ain't going to hurt a thing.
And people think that we work a lot. Man, you hear tales of people that grew up in the 60s and 70s or the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Yeah, they did work.
And I'm going to tell you something. Them people did work. Them people worked, and they don't make people like that no more. Me and Andy don't hold a candle to what them people done back then.
No, I don't hold a candle like what Mom and Daddy did growing up.
No, my poor grandma talking about hanging a barn in the back by herself and stuff. You know.
They'd have to hang a barn in the back by themselves because the man would be at work making money, and the woman would have to stay home and do all the work in the tobacco.
Well, my grandma worked too, but she worked at night.
She worked at night. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I forgot she worked too.
Yeah. But
Yep.
she'd have to do that during the day while he was at work, and then she'd go to work after he got home.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
But no,
So, I mean, they don't make people like that no more. I don't think I could do that.
I couldn't.
So, I mean, that's what I think about. Yeah, we work hard, but this is pie job compared to what they used to do.
Yeah,
so.
we lived the easy life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, a lot of people, if you just set your mind to something and do it, you can get something done. It's amazing. But so many people, and myself included, I'm not saying that we don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're
But
on
so
social
many
media.
people will get on their phone and start scrolling Facebook or TikTok or something, and you'll burn up an hour or two in a hurry, and you don't even realize it.
Yep.
And that's an hour or two you could have been accomplishing something and doing something that actually bettered your life instead of just blowing it away. But like I said, I had to completely delete TikTok off my phone because I used to be one of those people.
Right. Because it's hard. I mean, it's an addiction. I mean, it pulls you in.
Yeah.
It's what it's supposed to do. It's the way it works. And I know that's kind of ironic coming from us, and you're watching us on YouTube, and some of you follow us on Facebook and stuff, but that is one thing. I mean, when you say you don't have time, well, what are you doing with the time that you're sitting there on social media or on your phone and, you know?
We're all given 24 hours a day.
The same 24 hours.
I heard a man say one time or another, he said, what you choose to do with those 24 hours is on you. And that hits you when you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're in control of it, nobody else. And so make sure you choose wisely what you're doing with your time.
Who needs to sleep?
Yeah, who needs to sleep? You can sleep when you die. No, I gotta have my sleep. If I don't get my 8 hours of sleep every night, I can't function. And I've been that way since I was young.
And I think the world would be a whole lot better place too if we had more porch sitting
Yeah,
and visiting with people face to face. That's something.
That's something you don't get.
A lot of people's missing anymore is that interaction with people you love, people you care about, instead of just texting or.
Yep, these days, and once again, I'm guilty of it myself.
Oh yeah, me too.
And after I've had a good conversation with somebody, when you walk away from it, you feel good.
Yeah, that's true.
You do. Mm-hmm. Like, you can have a conversation with somebody and just, it don't matter what the conversation's about, dude. But when you walk away from it, you feel good about yourself.
Right.
Like, you feel good about everything. At least that's how I feel. But I don't know. But anyways, we ain't getting nothing done sitting here.
The shade feels good. And that nice breeze.
It feels a lot better here than it does right out there.
The air's moving right here. Maybe it don't move down that hole.
Yeah. There ain't a whole lot of air circulation in that hole. It probably wasn't the best place to put an orchard, but it's there now.
Yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things around here that if we could have done over with, I would have done different now, but they're here now, and I'm not
It's a pretty
changing.
spot for trees, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful spot.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. I got to go pick up Maggie Moo, and guess you better get back to work.
I got to get back to mulching. I'm telling you, I may not do that till after supper. We ain't got nothing to do after supper, do we?
I won't be here.
Well, that's fine. It won't take me long, because I'm just going to drive a tractor around and throw a couple of scoops. I mean, I don't know. I may go ahead and do it now. It ain't that bad.
I'm going up to Amelia's. Going up to JW Farms Micro Dairy. I'm still
training.
Still in my cow milking training.
Yeah, there was Amelia put out a video about y'all training, didn't she? But yeah, Megan is learning how to run the milking operation up there.
We sure appreciate you spending a little time with us this evening. And anyways, guys, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.